Hey everyone, welcome back to On the Fence Movie Reviews. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Rob.
So today we're going to be talking about Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now does the Godzilla reign supreme, or will he be destroyed by the monster known as sequelitis? So Godzilla takes place right after the events of the first one, and it's about 5 years later where we haven't seen any kaiju and they haven't made an appearance, and not before they are now awakened by an event that takes place. So let's just jump right into it. Rob, what did you think about the film? What did you like about the film?
Well, you know what? The things I did like about this film were the monster fights.
Okay.
When you think Godzilla, first thing that pops in my mind is monsters fighting each other. So that I really enjoyed that. The music in this movie kind of sucks you in, and it makes you feel all kinds of feels. Just when Godzilla would show up, and there's that score that plays. I think was it in the first? I believe it was in the first one, because it's just like that.
I think so. Yeah.
It's just like, there's just this epic like sound, and everything just goes well together. The acting, I feel certain characters I felt did a good job.
Okay.
And this isn't gonna win any Oscars as far as screenplays or anything.
Yeah.
But for the characters that there were characters in there that they gave their 100%, and I appreciate that.
Okay.
So what did you think? What some stuff you liked?
I agree with a lot of your sentiment there. I really love the monster action when it gets going. It is fun to watch. To see Godzilla and Rodan and Ghidorah go at it, and those are things that I grew up with, and so I really loved.
Wait, you grew up with monsters fighting?
Yeah.
In your world?
Yes, I did.
Wow, that's impressive.
And I'm here to talk about it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway.
This is more of a documentary of Adrian's childhood. Go ahead.
You don't want to see that. Anyway, the monster fights and everything was pretty awesome. I loved it, and I think credit to the filmmakers. They heard fan complaints from the first one how there wasn't enough monster action, and so they definitely gave it to us in this film, and it was fun to watch, and some of the shots that they did, like where, Godzilla is facing off with one of the other monsters, and it's like, that looks really cool and really awesome, and so those parts of the film were really good, and they were really great when they sucked you in. I love that. Some of the actors, not all of them, I will say, but some of them, like I really dug Ken Watanabe's character as Dr. Sarasawa. He was really good. I liked him. I believed him in his role, and I thought he was great. But so that was pretty much the highlights of the film for me, and that's what I liked about it. Rob, what did you not like about the film?
What did I not like about the film? Some of the acting I felt was a little cartoonish.
Okay.
Again, you know what kind of movie you're getting into. But time out one second. When you said, just goes back, I forgot something about the positive. When you're talking about like certain shots.
Okay.
I think you see it in the trailer almost, where it's Godzilla and what's the three-headed one?
I believe that's Ghidorah.
Okay, yeah, Ghidorah. It looked almost like it was before you're gonna play like a video game where it's like, final battle or whatever.
When they're facing off from each other.
That looks so awesome. But anyways, the stuff I didn't like. So some of the acting.
Okay.
One thing. Okay, so there was more monster fights, and I did enjoy that. But I felt like, in the first one. Okay, so in this one, I feel like it was like they got in really close to when the monsters were fighting, where it was almost kind of dizzy. Like you were just like, wait, what's going on?
It's too much close up. You'd like to see a little bit more wide shots.
Because in the first one, you could see a lot of what was going on. It was more, further back, and that it messed with my eye a little bit, just being so close to this fight. And then also, when you see the monsters, I feel like they move too quickly. Like one thing I did like about the first Godzilla, well, the Godzilla in 2014, was the way they moved. You felt like the weight of these monsters when they would move, because it wasn't like they were moving super fast. It was like it was slow, and you would picture like this huge, Godzilla just.
Okay,
it would take
you're saying from the perspective of like someone that's on the floor or on the streets or further away. You're saying that it looks like it moves too fast. Like from that perspective, it should be like something that big looks like it's moving slower.
Yeah, moving. I mean, obviously it's moving quicker than I would, but just the weight of it looked like it was moving too quick for me.
Okay.
Like the monsters had gotten faster over, I guess, the time. So just little that kind of just not. I mean, it didn't take me out of the film, but I was just like, okay, Godzilla, maybe he's been working out or something. He got a little quicker. He's been working on his cardio.
Been juicing up with all that nuclear waste.
Yes, exactly. Okay. While he's been resting, he's been juicing, and he got a little quicker. But those were a couple of things that I was just kind of like, I didn't. Oh, time out. One more thing.
Okay.
I feel like, this is me personally, I feel like we spent too much time with the humans. I didn't really care about the human storyline. And I understand it, I feel like it's there maybe to make us feel like, okay, we're involved, this is how we get invested. But I was just like, I would rather have followed a bunch of different people doing a bunch of different things in a shorter time.
You prefer more of an ensemble
as a
story and cast
as opposed to following a set
like,
group of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were some of my complaints. What about you?
I would say I have quite a few.
Okay.
But I'll try to keep it condensed here. For me, I agree with the fighting. As fun as it was, there were times where it was a little jarring because it was like you'd see mainly just like headshots.
Yes.
And like just the head moving and this and that, and so I was like, okay, I want to see what Godzilla's actually doing, and and that would make it a little bit more entertaining.
Right.
So I guess it's like the equivalent of like when you like consider like John Wick, right, where you have a lot of wide shots and you can see the full body action when they're fighting,
right? Versus
like a film like Taken with Liam Neeson, where it's a lot of shaky cam and you can barely tell what's going on. Yes. Same thing. So like I think that's the biggest problem. When comparing it to the first film, you had Gareth Edwards, who really understood scale and size and scope. Yeah. So like what you're saying, it's like you really feel the size and scale of the monsters versus where this one, it's kind of like they look bigger in comparison to the rest of the city, but it just something about the scale just doesn't fit or feel right.
Right.
And then the biggest problem for me is they try to set up this whole family story dynamic, but there's no chemistry there between the family and the actors, and it just kind of like you're not connected. You don't feel for these characters. I don't care.
I agree.
I'm kind of like, and they're great actors. I've seen them in other films. They're all really good. Millie Bobby Brown, Vera Farmiga. It's like they're all great actors. I've seen them do really great work, and so I that to me makes me believe that it's a script issue.
Yes.
With the writing. And again, like what you said, we're not expecting it to be like this Oscar-winning story, but at least have it make sense and not be so ridiculous to the point where it's like, this is just stupid.
Well, even with like the actors you just named, they do a really good job with what they're given, but I don't feel like what they're given was that great. So
yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, and then the guy, I forget his name, the actor, the main one.
Well, it's Mark. I think it's Mark Russell in the movie, but it's Kyle something. What's his name? Hold on, I got it right here. Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I like him a lot, but it's like weird because his character is like has the answer for everything. It was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Wait, let's do this.
Yeah.
And then let me fix this device because I know how to do it. Like it was just kind of like he had an answer for everything. And it was kind of like, and I agree that's where like when you think back on like other films that have like monsters like that, one of the greatest comparisons that I thought of was War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, and I know some people don't like that, but the idea is that, and then usually Tom Cruise is like the hero and he goes saves family, but really, this War of the Worlds, it's really just following a guy in the moment, and his perspective and how he's dealing with his kids and trying to survive.
Yes.
You know, it's not him being a hero; it's just him going from place to place trying to survive this attack.
Right.
And I felt like this film would have served better if they wanted to build on that family dynamic. It would have served better if it would have been more of that perspective versus like them trying to like save the world and like pulling all the strings, and they're like the ones making everything happen. You know?
Agree.
And I think that's the biggest problem for me. It's like, you know, I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
I understand what you're saying. Also, when you're mentioning how Kyle Chandler just knew how to do everything, I was like, in my mind, I was like, man, this guy's like a Swiss Army knife. He's got a tool for every problem. So that was one thing I was just like, all right, you know, if that's what you're telling me in the movie, then I'll accept it. But I agree with you. It's just a little.
Yeah. So I mean, those are my biggest complaints. So Rob, what is your final verdict on this film? What are you gonna say? On the fence or off the fence, or what are you doing?
Here's the thing. I did enjoy it. There was some things that I was just like, that, you know, I'll shut off my brain and shove some popcorn in my face to watch this movie. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get off the fence and go back in my local theater and watch this movie.
He's gonna get off the fence and watch this movie.
Yes, because although I feel it is not as good as the first Godzilla in 2014, but I still think it is enjoyable enough. And now that I know what to expect, I feel like I would enjoy it a little more second viewing. So I'm gonna get off the fence and go catch this movie again.
Wow. Okay. So he's gonna get off the fence. You know what? I'm thinking I'm just gonna stay on the fence and maybe peek at it. But you almost convinced me to get off the fence because I agree. After seeing it, maybe the second time I might enjoy it a little bit more because I know what I'm getting into. Yeah. And maybe my expectations were a little too high because I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I love Godzilla, and I
really.
Well, he
was a part of your childhood, as you stated
he was
before.
He
terrorized your childhood, from what it sounded like. Is he crying?
Anyway, no. So I really enjoy Godzilla. I grew up with him, like I said, and I really enjoyed the first one. I loved it a lot. This one, not so much. But again, if you're really into that and you don't really care about the story and you just want to see dumb, mindless monster action, go for it. So for me, I'm gonna say, no, probably not.
Pete, no, you're not going
I would just stay on the fence.
All right, I respect that, but I don't respect it. But I do respect it. Anyways, I'm gonna be off the fence at my local theater watching this again. So.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to click like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you thought of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And also remember to follow us on social media.
And remember, we'll catch you on the fence.